What's up guys, NepentheZ here and welcome back to another episode of The Road to Glory. First things first dudes, you can see I'm skipping through here. I'm looking at Leroy Sané. He had a good game for Man City. I accidentally clicked the left trigger on my controller. So if you want to see how much I sold Dembele, Alexandra and Manolas for, you're going to have to go and pause the video at the exact time I hover over them in this little section because that's all I have. Like usually I keep the items on the trade pile, right? So that you guys can see how much I sold them for and stuff. And whilst I was buying and selling things, Hesse scored for Las Palmas. I bought him for 26,000 coins and I sold him for 60,000 coins. And that's how I was able to afford Lionel Messi. I also then went and rebought him for... you can see there I sold him for 53,000 coins. I rebought him for 35,000 coins, and then he scored a second goal, and I rebought him off the back of Sané selling. Sané sold for 87,500 because he scored. I rebought him for 35,000 and sold him again for 53,000. So because Hesse scored again, so I made some real good profit off ones to watch Hesse, some real good profit off ones to watch Sané. I missed the boat on Luis Adriano, who we bought for super cheap and scored. I wasn't able to sell him. And I think in yesterday's video, I showed you that I was trying to sell another one that scored and I didn't get him. I didn't sell him in time. And also I missed the boat on Gigliardini, who scored for Inter. I didn't sell him in time. It's really hard to keep track of who's scoring when, how and where, and play FUT champs and get them on the market in time and such. But through what we did, obviously you saw that I sold Sandro, I sold Manolas. I bought and sold Hesse twice. I sold Sané. I was able to afford Lionel Messi and inform Isco, and it allowed us to build the team that you're about to see on the screen. And my God, what a team it is. I was playing really good FIFA up till this point. As you guys know, we found ourselves at 24-6 after 30 games, which is great. We only needed 5 wins to get into Elite, which was going to be doable. But once again, like last week, disaster struck for me this week, and not on my own doing either. I won the first game out of this batch of 10 that we've got here. I then got back-to-back disconnect losses again. One of them in the 90th minute, whilst I was 3-1 up. Devastating. So I got 2 losses that just shouldn't have been on the record. One of them absolutely should have been a win. One of them, the game was... I think 70 minutes in 0-0 or something. I can't remember exactly, but you don't know how that one would have finished. And after I got those 2 DC losses, honestly, I just stopped caring. I was like, okay, now, I was playing real good. I genuinely believed that I would have gone on to get 34 wins. I might not have done, but I was playing positive. I was focused. I was doing good stuff. And I thought, Elite 1 is on the cards. And then those 2 DC losses not only wiped out my opportunity of Elite 1, but also put me in a situation where I then had to go on and win every single game to get Elite 2. So I was just like, you know what, I don't care. I just played, I was like, I'll end up getting the extra 4 wins that I need out of the remaining 7 games. I did just that. I finished on 29 wins, and that's how it was. Really, honestly, I was so upset. I've got 5 DC losses in the last 2 weekends now, and I've not had a single DC. I've had 1 DC loss in every weekend league before that, all combined. So really, really frustrated. I don't know what the issue is, but I'm going to have to figure it out so that this doesn't keep happening because it's problematic. But anyway, some comments, lots of comments, some very good comments. Not a lot of time on this video either because the pre-recorded stuff is only 16 or 17 minutes long and I've already rambled on for 4 minutes. So here we go. Sander17 says, NepentheZ flashback cards, didn't they have those in previous FIFAs? Not sure, but I remember some 90 rated Kaka. They had it last year, I believe. Oh, by the way, look at this speed up lag, man. What can I do? I get this every weekend, man. What can I do? The last FIFA they had international classic international players, international man of the matches, where they basically gave players that were still in the game really high versions of cards based on their previous, their careers. So yeah, there's definitely the opportunity that they might introduce some flashback or classic cards again. Eden Hazard, my G, says, I can't believe you're dropping Hazard. I know, dude. I know. It's heartbreaking. I don't know that I'm definitely dropping him. I'm still open to changing this team, to figuring out what works for me and stuff. And a lot of people said a lot of things about me changing the team and putting Ronaldo in instead of Hazard and buying Messi, taking out other players. And people assume that this is the wrong thing to do, especially the fact that I dropped Chris Smalling and stuff. And there's actually a comment about it a little bit later. But I've hit a ceiling for wins at like 30, 31, 32 wins. And the only way to break through that ceiling is going to be to try new things. And if that costs me wins and makes me finish on 25, 26, 27 here or there every week, it'll be worth it. Otherwise, I'm just going to get frustrated every week of not advancing and not progressing. And Jim Hart says, Yo, Nep, are you going to invest in Irish players or is it too late? I think for the Irish, for St. Paddy's Day, I think it's too late. I say this every time people ask about investing. What you've got to remember is that by the time you thought about it, because it's becoming popular, like it goes on Reddit or on Twitter or just generally people are like, oh, St. Paddy's Day is coming up. There have already been hundreds, possibly thousands of people that thought about it a month ago. What you've got to do is have the foresight to be like, what's coming up in 4 weeks or 6 weeks or 8 weeks that I can invest in now so that I can make my profit. Because for St. Paddy's Day, I don't think it's worth investing in anyway. I'm probably going to be wrong with this and I'm probably going to miss out, but I'm not going to invest in players, or at least I don't think I'm going to invest in players. My aim right now, and there you go, 90th minute disconnect, 3-1 up, guys. My aim right now isn't to invest in players for the St. Paddy's Day. That may change. My thoughts, my opinions might change, but the reason being is because so many people do bronze pack method this year that everyone is going to have hundreds of the Airtricity Irish League players in their clubs, probably a lot of silvers as well. So even if even if they do release SBCs or something for Irish players, I don't think that many people are going to be. I think not many people are going to want to buy them because a lot of them will already have them. And alternatively, I also think lots of people are going to be trying to sell them because they all have them. So I think for the St. Paddy's Day, dude, I think the boat has been missed. Batman, good to have you on the channel, Batman. Thank you for taking time out of saving the world. Says, hey, Nepo, just one question I thought about because of what you said about weak foot. Are the in-game stats maximum like 99 finishing and a player with 80 finishing gets 80% of that? Or is it at every shot like 8 out of 10 shots are perfect, 99 in-game stats, and 2 are just not as good? Would be great to hear your opinion. Love the vids. I'm around every day since start FIFA 2016. Well, thank you for being consistent on the channel, dude. I appreciate you very much. I don't know, to be honest with you. I don't know the answer to your question. I do have a theory on it. My theory is it's called random number generating, right? It's called RNG. And although it's not a direct correlation, I try and use Diablo because that's a game that I play that has a lot of RNG in it, as a way to theorize what happens in FIFA. So in Diablo, you get an item, and when you get that item, it has random properties on it. And the color of the item and the type of the item, it generates more the color of the item basically determines the value of the random properties. You can use this item within Diablo called the Kanai's Cube to basically re-roll your, let's say you get a sword, right? And this sword is good, but not great. You can put this sword in the Kanai's Cube and put some other elements in it and re-roll it so you can get the same sword, but with different properties. So instead of having, say, 1,000 damage per attack, it might have 2,000 damage per attack. And it's all about the random number generator that determines whether or not you get a better sword, an equal sword, or a worse sword. So it basically comes down to, a lot of it is down to luck. FIFA, in my opinion, has very similar, things, very similar kind of entities, I guess, in the sense that if you stand at the top of the box and just aim straight, dead center of goal, and put 2 bars of power on it, and you have 99 in every shooting attribute, I would assume that shot would do the same every single time, right? Every single time, because there's little room for variables. However, if you have 80 shooting and you stand at the top of the box and you shoot dead center, I believe, I hope you can see my hands here, I think they're right. I believe that instead of that shot going dead center every time, what happens is, because you've got 80 shooting, is that just randomly, and because for me it's random number generated, so it is randomly it will go veer off to the left a little bit or veer off to the right a little bit, and it won't stay dead center. However, because you've got 80 shooting out of 99, there's very little chance of it going off center. But if somebody had 60 shooting, there's a bigger chance of it going off center, and probably by how much? So that is like one way to explain it, right? Which then goes on to explain like how can people like #Harry win with bronze teams? Well, because in actuality, like, you know, let's assume it was definitive. Let's assume that under controlled circumstances, standing on the very top of the box, bang in line with the penalty spot, in line with the middle of the goal. Let's assume 99 shot power and 99 finishing, and just pressing the shoot button for 2 bars and holding towards the goal. Put it perfectly down the middle, and at every single time, because you've got 99 out of 99 possibilities, so it goes straight. Then also let's assume that 80 goes off to a perfect 2-degree angle every single time, right? And then 60 goes off to a perfect 4-degree angle every time. It's still going to go on target. So what I'm getting at there, what I'm trying to say there is that with that, this is why I believe personally that people massively overestimate the ability and the usefulness of chemistry, chem styles, and player in-game stats. I'm not saying they're not effective and they're not important, because I do believe that they are super important. But what I'm saying is that even though I believe they're super important, I still think people overestimate their worth and their ability. Like when people say, oh my God, my Martial missed this really easy sitter, and then this guy's Callum Wilson went down the other end and put in a 30-yarder, it's scripting. Well, it's not scripting, it's just RNG, it's just bad luck. It's literally just bad luck in those scenarios. And there are things you can do to favour your luck, right? There are things you could do to essentially turn the RNG in your favour and help you win games. And that's by taking the high percentage shots and removing as many variables as you can. For example, if you have a player that has average shooting and you're trying a long shot, the likelihood is that's not going to go in. It's not going to never go in. It will still go in from time to time, which is why sometimes you see Manolas pop up with a goal, or you see someone's right back hit a banger in the back of the net. They will still score goals, you know. But what you have is, if your opponent hits a high chance, a high opportunity, like a low risk shot twice and scores 2 goals with 2 low risk shots that he's managed to get opportunities for, and you've hit 5 high risk shots with average players or even good players, those high risk shots have got less chance of going in. So it's really, really difficult to explain, and I'm probably not even like being coherent. You probably don't even get what I'm saying. I'm sure lots of people do, but I'm sure there are a lot of people going like, what is he even talking about? But the bottom line is that like 80 shooting is not 0 shooting. 50 shooting is not 0 shooting. Like people complain, how has his player done that? This is scripting. They have stats there. They have abilities. Like they're players on the field, and the person on the control is the most important person. So again, if you take a high chance shot, like that guy there with Son took a low risk shot with Son, low driven across the goalkeeper. They're just super effective. They're really low risk, and I guess in this instance, the RNG for those shots is very limited because of what can be done in the game. If that guy had tried a finesse shot to the far post instead, it might have gone wide. The keeper might have got gloves to it. You know, decision making comes down to it. But bottom line is, for what you say, what I personally believe is, if you had 80 shooting and you were running at goal and tried to put it in the top right hand corner 10 times, most of the time it would go around or close to the top right hand corner, and sometimes it would go a little bit wayward. But then again, if you take that shot 10 times to the top right, and sometimes, like some of the goals that I score with Ronaldo, for example, curve perfectly into the top right. And that's because his shooting's so high, and his curve's so high, and his long shots are so high, and his finishing's so high. Everything's perfect for him, so it goes into the top corner. But even if you had a player with 90 shooting, instead of going like perfectly into the top corner, it might go a yard left, which is enough for the keeper to save it. So, like again, I believe it's all RNG. I believe you can manipulate the RNG into your favour, and that's how the pros are the pros, because they understand all the best times to do the best things all the time. And there are certain times, that Messi goal there is a prime example. In fact, we'll look at this goal back. I think this is a Ronaldo long shot, actually. There are certain times where you don't even know that things take place. For example, that shot that I took there, now Ronaldo's got, let's go back to that guy's Heung-min Son, and he took a low-driven shot that went into the corner. Heung-min Son's got, 88 finishing or whatever, right? So 88 finishing, put the ball there. 82 finishing might have still seen the ball go in the back of the net, but at a different angle, like maybe a little bit closer to the post, because it was a bit of a worse shot because he's got lower finishing. And 99 finishing might have seen the ball go in a little bit further inside the post and more like towards the centre of the goal because he's got high finishing. Like sometimes, like even having the scoring a goal with someone with low finishing, you might have scored the exact same goal with someone with higher finishing, but at a different angle, a different way, in a different way. We'll take this guy as well here. He takes that shot with Perisic. It goes to the near post. It takes a bounce. Maybe if he had better finishing or less finishing, it might have not taken the bounce and just flown straight into the back of the net. You get what I'm saying? Like you just won't see the same thing over and over again. That is a fantastic goal again. See how that curved around the keeper, but it wasn't in the top corner with Dybala. Maybe if Dybala had 99 shooting in that instance, it might have gone perfectly into the top corner rather than just around the keeper. So hopefully that makes sense. I got a lot of comments for this video, and I've run out of time because I talked about this for far too long. I hope I'm clear with that. I hope that makes sense. You know, I don't know if it does make sense to you, but that's kind of how I read it. And look at that for a goal from Ronaldo. Absolutely banging goal. I'll take one more comment real quick, which is the last comment from Kieran Loughran. Says, I wish Player of the Month was actually Player of the Month instead of what FIFA fans want. In my opinion, Macaulay should win it easily. 2 goals and a clean sheet for what was a hard month for West Brom. FIFA don't decide the Player of the Month. This seems to be a common misconception. The fan vote is only worth 10% of the total vote. The rest of it is voted for by press, players, managers, coaching staff, etc., etc. It's nothing to do with EA. It is sponsored by EA because it's in the game. They have one vote like any other press. Like, you know, EA get one vote. They get to log their one vote, and that's all. They don't decide. They don't influence it in any way, shape or form. It is voted by the players themselves. Anyway, guys, that last game there, I'd just given up. I'd honestly just given up. I didn't care. I got 29 wins. I couldn't go any further. I wasn't really trying that game. I was paying like little attention. Excuses, right? But anyway, this is going to be the end of the gameplay, guys. Let's get into the live section. So, guys, we finished on 29 wins this weekend league. Oh, I'm so frustrated. I'm genuinely so frustrated. Not even at the losses that I took that I should have won. There were 2 games. Just 2 games where I should have won. It genuinely wouldn't have made any difference. Like 29 wins or 31 wins, both Elite 3 anyway. The 2 DC losses triggered me. I was on one hell of a streak. Winning games, playing well. I was 9-1 in the last set of 10 games. I won the first game in this set of 10 games. And then I got a DC loss. And I was like, God damn it, another one this weekend. So I went onto the other account. I started playing games on there. I come back onto this account because it felt like the gameplay had sorted itself out. And playing the game, 3-1 up, 90th minute in extra time. Bang, DC loss. What can I do? What can I actually do? And it triggered me so much, it just affected my games for the rest of the day. Like, it genuinely did. I don't like it when it affects my games, but it did affect my games for the rest of the day, which is sad as you like. But hey, we still managed to get Elite, which is fantastic. Can't complain about Elite. You know, whether I got 29 wins, 31 wins, or even 32 or 33 wins, it's only 30,000 coins of difference. It's not the end of the world. It's getting that Team of the Week pack was priority number 1. And in the last game there, the dude won, I think 4-1 or 5. I just genuinely didn't care. I wasn't even trying. I wasn't even caring. You'll notice, obviously, by the title and the gameplay, that we have Lionel Messi in the team. I don't know what his goals to game is going to be because 2 DC losses, and in the 3-1 he scored 2 goals. Those goals wouldn't have counted. And I know he got an assist or 2 as well. So 10 games, he's actually probably had 7 or 8 goals and a couple more assists as well. He's brilliant. I mean, brilliant. This attacking trio, brilliant. I'm so glad I've got this. Unfortunately for Ibrahimovic and unfortunately for Eden Hazard, they're now out the window. But what I'm probably going to do is I'm going to really focus on trying to get 2 Unreal teams and stop caring about stats and figures and goals and games and just start caring, because we'll get him to 1,000 games at some stage through the year anyway. He'll be the first player since FIFA 11 that I've got to 1,000 games. He probably won't get to 1,000 goals now because he's not my primary guy. You know, for a good 6 weeks, he was priority number 1. He was the striker or the left forward. He took all the penalties, all the free kicks. Now he gets none of that, you know, so he's no longer priority number 1. But we've got a couple of really good sets of players here. You know, I might convert Ibrahimovic back up to a striker because I love Firmino, I love Coleman. So we might have this as team 1 and then just build an entirely second team, you know, a whole team. Striker Ibrahimovic, left forward Hazard, maybe right forward Walcott, or I might even put Hazard back on the right forward slot and put like Heung-min Son at left forward. and then play Nainggolan down the right-hand side with Player of the Month Lukaku if he gets one, if not 88 Lukaku at centre midfield. We've got a load of options, but we need the Player of the Month to be announced. We need our rewards again. In the meantime, I might have a look off camera, like after the video, and have a look at what we can. In fact, let me see. So we've got 1, 2. Right, I'm just trying to calculate who I've got in this team. Let me create a new squad real quick. We'll just blah 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 like so, and we'll see about what we can do. We'll see about what we can do. So 4-3-2-1 again. Obviously, Zlatan Ibrahimovic is going to be the striker, even though he's a centre midfielder. So bear that in mind, because it's going to look weird for chemistry. But Zlatan's going to go up there. We're going to get Eden Hazard is going to come in here. Then we're going to go for BPL first, because I've got so many BPL players. It's going to kind of have to. So Azpilicueta's in the other team, Costa's in the other team. So we could take Coleman, we could take Arnautovic, we could take Firmino, we could take Sterling, which is great. Big fan of Raheem Sterling. We could take Son, Mane, Walcott, Fernandinho, Reed. Holy crap, Emre Can, Hector Bellerin. We got some players here, dudes. Alonso's in the other team. Rashford, I'm not interested in, and Nasser Chadli. So I'd probably pick actually Coleman to be my fullback over Walcott. Over Bellerin. I just find him to be a better player. We'll go Winston Reed. Sorry, I keep calling him Stephen Reed. That's my bad. Fernandinho and Emre Can and Nasser Chadli, which was actually a midfield that I had a lot of fun with in previous. Actually, no, not even Fernandinho. Roberto Firmino will be there. The right forward, I'd probably go with Walcott above all of them. He's played a lot of games. Just because of that. I mean, I say just because of that pace. He's got the same pace as Mane, same pace as Sterling. Sterling's got the 4-star skill moves, but only a 2-star weak foot. So I'd probably go with Walcott in here. We'd also go with David De Gea in goal, right? Just because we don't need fitness for him. And then we'd go with what's his face? Eric Bailly is our other centre back. The left back, I mean, I have got Luke Shaw. I don't have Luke Shaw at all. I could play Hector Bellerin at right back, to be fair, at left back. In fact, I would see who's got the best 3-star, 3-star, and he's right-footed. 3-star, 3-star, and he's also right-footed. I would probably play, because he's got better stats, I'd probably play Coleman at left back and Bellerin at right back. So this could be a second team here, guys. Just rotate between the two teams. These are two brilliant teams. The only thing I'm disappointed about a little bit is that I haven't got Nainggolan in here, and I would actually like him in the team. Easy to get him in the team too, to be fair, because I could just get rid of Bailly. I would again put Bellerin here. I would actually, you know what? I could just play Nainggolan on 8 chem, because he'd get 8 chem here. Could just play Nainggolan on 8 chem like that. Eric Bailly would not be good enough. See, we're actually back in the same problem as we had before. What I'd probably want to do is switch those around. Put Arnautovic. I would actually love to try Arnautovic up front, but we'll use Heung-min Son here. I'll go and play with this team as well in divisions. Division 1 this week to test it out and see how I fare with it. Put Eric Bailly in there like so, and then we'll go Florenzi here. And unfortunately, this leaves us. So, imagine a world where I've got Florenzi at right back, right? So Florenzi gets perfect chem, Nainggolan gets perfect chem, everyone else gets perfect chem. The centre backs are the problem. Now, I can use Chris Smalling in here, because we can put Smaldini at centre back. Like so, and then all the defenders get the perfect chemistry. And then in the other team, and again this outro is going to be like ridiculously long for no good reason, we don't need Smalling here, because we get the triple link with Dele Alli and Kyle Walker. So we can actually play Reed here, and that works perfectly fine. There you go, guys. I think we've built ourselves 2 amazing teams. And I would want to play with them, a couple games, one team, keep rotating and seeing if I'm going to have fun with it or not. Because Ibra and Hazard are just the real deal, right? They are the business. Again, when straight away though, I look at 2 teams, and it's sad that Hazard isn't getting any game time. When you compare him to Messi, he's actually got better stats than Messi everywhere. No, yeah, everywhere except shooting and dribbling. And he's got 2 less shooting and 2 less dribbling, 3 less shooting, but 8 more physical, 10 more defending, 2 more passing, 2 more pace, a little less shooting, a little less dribbling. But that makes you wonder, doesn't it? Because he's basically as good as Messi, and he is as good as Messi. He's unreal. I absolutely love him. But Messi has been amazing for me and is great anyway. 4-star, 4-star as well. But when I look at this attack of Ronaldo, Suarez and Messi, I can't see myself not using it. It's a weird one, man. It's a weird one. I'm going to have to... literally the only difference of these 2 dudes is 1 inch on height and the foot that they use. Other than that, they're near identical as players. They are near... Like Hazard has a bit better physical and a bit better defending. Other than that, they're near identical. So it's interesting. We'll see how it goes with that. We'll see what we do with that. I'm, you know, probably for the next week or 2, I'm going to be tinkering with the team until I find something that just is bang on for me. And when I find that thing that's bang on, that'll be a great day. But let's look at the player stats again, guys. We've got some changes up here. We've got 839 games now with Hazard, 832 with Smalling. Still no red cards for him. De Gea over 600 now, which is great. Lots of games. And then for goals, Hazard still number 1, Son still number 2, Walcott number 3, Ibra number 4, Lacazette number 5, Suarez number 6, but Ronaldo is fast catching Luis Suarez. 11 goals behind now in 60 games less, basically 59 games less, but a lot less assists. Suarez gets a lot of assists for me. He does a really good job. I enjoy Suarez thoroughly in this team. Diego Costa, again, people sleep on him as a centre midfielder. I love him as a centre midfielder, man. But yeah, I've got so many amazing players in this club. I might go to 2 teams. I might still stick with 1 team. We'll have to figure that out. But this, guys, we got elite. Can't complain about that. This will be the end of the video for today. Hopefully you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time. I'm out. Peace.